Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So in today's video, I'm being a little bit more ambitious. I'm trying to do quite a few things at once. So there will be this ASMR video for maps and flags and facts and geography. I'm going to be doing some map tracing, and we're going to try and finish our little map, well, our flags. So I've been doing several parts where we've been putting flags into this lovely stroopwafel container, and I've been testing you on those flags as I've been doing it. So we're in the final part now, and I've got this box of flags to go, and they're all duplicates. There's only about half the amount of flags in there. So what I'm going to do in today's video, I'm going to pick one out, and we're going to talk about where it is on the map, and then we're going to place it into the container. How does that sound? I really hope you enjoy the video. You find it relaxing, interesting, sleep-inducing. Whichever one, please do consider clicking subscribe and like the video. Drop me a comment as well. Okay, we're going to start off with this beautiful flag. I've actually had the pleasure of living in this country. I don't know, if you're a regular subscriber, then you'll know a little bit about that story. So this is Spain, and the capital of Spain is in the middle of the country, and it's called Madrid. Lots of people think it's Barcelona. Actually, I used to teach Spanish because my degree is in Spanish, with Portuguese and Russian and a bit of Arabic. And the kids I used to teach used to think, oh yes, Barcelona is the capital of Spain, which couldn't be further from the truth, really. So yeah, Spain is there, so we're going to put Spain in. Actually, I'm going to show you, because this makes such a lovely noise when it goes in as well. Okay, so I think this country is a plausible number 2. Keeping on the theme of Spanish-speaking countries, of course, but actually I'm going to move the map a little bit to get this one in shot, because Spain is here and Argentina is down here. So for reference, the United States of America is there, Brazil is here. So it is on the border, it does share a land border with Brazil, but also with many other countries, as it's such a large country. So Argentina borders Uruguay, Paraguay, Bolivia, and Chile. And that's the flag of Argentina. The capital is just here. It's actually opposite the capital for Uruguay, over the Rio de la Plata, named because they found silver there, plata being the word for silver in Spanish. And the capital of Uruguay is Montevideo, but the capital of Argentina is Buenos Aires. I've heard some brutal pronunciations of that over the years, but yeah, it's literally the clean air, the good air, Buenos Aires. Okay. Next up, if I tell you that the capital of this country is Belgrade, which is a translation of the word in the language spoken in this country, which means the white city. Beo is white. We often say Bel. I think it would have been an L at some point, because it is in other Slavic languages like Russian. But an L at the end of a word has become an O in this language. So it's not Bel Gorad, it's Beograd. we call it Belgrade in English. And this country's language is Serbian, so that's the clue. It's Serbia. And Serbia is here. It's the pink one, I believe. I say I believe because I'm squinting. I'm sat quite far away. So we should have Croatia, well, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia next to it. And that's Romania, Bulgaria, Montenegro, Kosovo, Albania. So that's Serbia. Now, pick this one out, and I'm not even sure. We've come across this a number of times. I'm pretty sure this is Guinea. And squinting, Guinea is around here, right? So I think this is Guinea and this is Guinea-Bissau. And if you know the capital of Guinea, then let me know in a comment, please, in the comment section, because I can't remember it. I can remember the capital of Senegal, which is no help. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Guinea. So do let me know in a comment if I'm at all wrong, because I'm not 100% on this one. I think I'm going to sacrifice Greenland, sorry. Okay. Actually, I think it's not working there for me. Where shall I put it, everyone? Where shall it go? I think I'll put it out of shot. Okay, the next flag is a curious one. You may not have seen this flag before. Look carefully at the top left corner. So we've got burgundy red on one side, yellow, white on the other, and then this cross at the top. This is what we call in Europe a microstate because it's an extremely small country. However, this country is a part of the European Union, and there are quite a few interesting facts about this place. It's Malta, and Malta is at the tip of Italy. It's a tiny island, and I don't even know if you can see it on the map. So Malta is famous for a couple of reasons. The first one being it has been occupied a number of times, but originally was inhabited by a tribe that came over from, we suspect, around Tunisia. And as a result, Maltese as a language itself is originally a form of Arabic and is a Semitic language, therefore. It is now really highly populated with words from Italian, some French and lots of English, but lots of Italian, which Tunisian does have features of that as well. Tunisian Arabic. But because Malta is in the European Union, it is, I think, the only country in the European Union to have a Semitic language rather than an Indo-European language or Finno-Ugric language as its official language. Other fun facts about Malta. Malta has exceptional LGBT rights. It's one of the best in the world. They drive on the left-hand side of the road because it is a former British colony. And I hear the driving on the road thing can change slightly because it gets so hot that apparently you basically drive in the shade. So if you're driving outside of the city, you drive whichever side of the road has the most shade on it. I hear it's an absolutely stunning country. Beautiful, 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 and lovely people. So that is Malta. Talking about islands that are quite small, this brings us to this country. So this is Singapore. Now you've probably heard of Singapore, but do you know where it is? It's a bit bit of a strange one because it is in Asia, and it's one of the three banking areas of Asia, along with Hong Kong, I believe. So it's Hong Kong, Singapore, and I forget the other one. Is it Tokyo? And yeah, it's a small island, again, ex-colony of Great Britain, or the United Kingdom, or the British Empire. Basically like here. So if you look at the tip of Malaysia, the Malaysian part that goes up to the mainland, there's a small island at the end, and that is Singapore. Yeah. Singapore has some really strict rules over smoking. If you smoke in public, you have to, they're basically like signs, like circles with feet imprints on them, on the pavement, on the sidewalk. And you have to stand in those designated zones in order to have a cigarette. You can't walk down the street having a cigarette, it's illegal. Also, chewing gum is totally illegal in Singapore because of the mess it makes on the sidewalks. So yeah, if you're caught with a cigarette chewing gum walking down the street, you'll be arrested in Singapore. Okay. All the flags I'm picking out at random today seem to be quite small countries. However, like Singapore, this small country is extremely rich. This is the flag. I've taught you before that if you ever come across a flag that is black, green, white and red, it's usually to do with an Arab country. And this is no different. This is Kuwait. And Kuwait is found right on the tip here next to Iraq, just next to the coast. Kuwait is basically so small that its capital is called Kuwait City, and it is hugely oil rich. One of the reasons that Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait when he was in charge of Iraq, to get their oil resources. Okay, next up. So we saw the Singaporean flag earlier on, which had red and then white down the bottom there. However, this flag has got red at the bottom and white at the top. Now, if you were to face it this way, it would be the Indonesian flag, but it's not. It's this way up. And the capital is Warsaw. So where is the country? You'll find it here in the orange. So that is Poland. Poland here. Now I incorrectly on a video sometime late last year called Poland an Eastern European country and had quite a lot of comments. They weren't nasty comments, they were just saying like, are you serious? Because Poland is considered a Central European country. Now I'm pretty sure it wasn't when I was in school, but that was a long time ago. So Poland is a Central European country, not an Eastern European country. Shares a land border with Germany and also the Czech Republic, but as well as many others, Ukraine for example, Belarus, and here's Lithuania, with which it did form an alliance at one point. But as I pointed out in previous videos, this little green bit here is not to be forgotten about, because technically Poland shares a land border with Russia, because this is a part, an enclave of Russia, Kaliningrad. Claimed after World War II, where the old Prussia was broken up into separate countries and land given to different nations. Russia kept a part of it. one. Now normally you wouldn't get these flags in packs because technically, being a Welshman I can say this, technically the country is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, which has a different flag. However, this is the flag of Scotland, and Scotland alone. So I'm from here in Wales, then we share a land border with England, and Scotland then share a land border with England as well. But Scotland and Wales do not touch. We are historically and culturally and ethnically related, however. At one point, Wales, well, so the original Aboriginal inhabitants of the island of Great Britain, so this island here is called Great Britain, this island here is Ireland, and the Welsh Celtic tribe lived in all parts of England, as far up as Glasgow and Edinburgh. And above that was a different tribe called the Picts, which we know very little about, which studies have shown the Celtics sort of interbred with them, and many people have features of Celtic and Picts. After Wales retreated during the time the Vikings came over from Denmark and Scandinavia and Germany, Netherlands, we were pushed back into the west and inhabited Wales, Cornwall, and some fled to Brittany in northern France. There was around this time the Irish invaded Scotland and shared with them their language. So modern day Scottish Gaelic is very understandable to Irish Gaelic speakers. However, I made a little slip up because there is a third language in Scotland. You have English, you have Scottish Gaelic, and you have a language called Scots. Now Scots is actually not related to Scottish Gaelic at all. In fact, it's a sister language of English and has many features of Dutch and Old Norse. So that's Scotland. Now I know I've got probably one of the, I think it's the top 5 number of viewers of this channel come from this country. This is the flag of the Russian Federation, or as we know it, Russia. But I don't call it Russia that often because I understand, having studied parts of Russian history in university, when I studied Russian as a language, that Russia is an extremely complex state. If you're American and you come from, say, Texas or Florida, you have a very individual identity compared to that of the whole country. And it's the same with Russia, but even more extreme because you will speak a different language and have a different religion and have completely different culture, but be under the overall umbrella bracket of the Russian Federation. So you could come from down here, and this area is the Caucasus, and there are many different tribes, languages, cultures. It's a highly Muslim area, for example, whereas you could come from over here and be part of more Mongol culture. So there is an extreme diversity across the Russian Federation itself, which is, of course, in terms of landmass, the largest country in the world. But due to the fact that it's so northerly And actually there's something called a permafrost. Basically the ground never melts, it's always icy. And so that inhibits the fact that people can live there and cultivate crops. And it's suspected if global warming continues, then that part of the world will warm up, releasing a lot of the permafrost. Several things will happen at that point. One, it's possible to use the land for cultivation, in which case Russia will have the most farmable land in the world, and they're expecting a massive migration of workers to go and farm that land. As then more currently inhabitable places across the centre of the world here become too hot to do any farming, Russia will have a bit of a monopoly on growing crops in the world. Secondly, it will release a lot of natural gases which can be sold around the world. And there are some other things as well. Firstly, it will uncover lots and lots of things that have been buried for a long time and that can't be reached under the icy ground, such as dinosaur bones, mammoth, for example, bones, lots of evidence of life that we haven't seen for a long time. Maybe new species of dinosaurs and mammals that we've never seen before will be discovered. And secondly, we need to be careful as well, because in those sorts of conditions, diseases, bodies buried with diseases will not, the diseases will continue on those bodies. And if any were uncovered, it might spread old diseases that we've got rid of in the world back around again. But that's the Russian Federation for you. Shall we do one more? I'm having a look. This is an interesting one. It's got the yellow, the blue and the red, but importantly these, let's call it a rainbow of stars. This country is Venezuela. The flags of Colombia and Ecuador are very similar as well, because at one point they were all one country. However, Venezuela is this country here. It shares a land border with Brazil, with Colombia, and with Guyana, I think it is. Guyana, which is... oh no, yes, Guyana, which... so we've got Guyana there, Suriname there, and French Guyana there. So Suriname, I think, used to be Dutch Guyana, so they were all three Guyanas. So Guyana was definitely part of the British overseas territories. French Guiana still is part of France's overseas territory, so it uses the euro. It's officially, the capital is Paris. But Suriname, and Suriname is part of the Dutch overseas colonies as well. Or has it as independence? I'm not sure. Maybe write a comment. I'm confused about these three countries. They confuse me. There is some dispute over the land border between Guyana and Venezuela. But curiously, Venezuela has a reputation for being currently one of the richest countries in the world, albeit with an extremely high poverty level. And the reason for this is Venezuela has enormous oil resources, envious to many countries around the world. So Venezuela named Little Venice because of its resemblance to, in parts, to places in Italy, in Venice. It's actually an extremely rich country, but unfortunately, due to corruption from governments and dictatorships, they've used that money nefariously rather than spread it out and use it to improve the lives going to stop there. I really hope that you've enjoyed the format of this video and been trying something new out. If you did, then definitely drop a like for me and a little comment. And if you're new to the channel, click subscribe. This channel is all about maps, flags and facts. So you're going to love all the videos on this channel if you subscribe. Again, thanks so much for watching, and if you want to support me further, check out information in the info box below about Patreon.